Hi there. So what was it that Dr. Ian Billinghurst wrote that actually changed and totally shifted my thinking when it came to my own dog's diet? So Dr. Billinghurst, he's written, I think, 4 books by now, and one of them, which I've spoken about this week already, which was, I'm sorry it's backwards, but it's Give Your Dog a Bone by Dr. Ian Billinghurst. When he wrote in that book, he actually was feeding his dogs table scraps and raw food. And in the early 70s, when he was actually practicing as a vet, he had no health issues at all with any of his dogs at all when it came to their skin, anything, even their reproduction. There was no issues whatsoever. Anyway, when he was a vet, he decided in the 70s, because he was getting so many customers coming with the same problems, or clients coming with the same problems with their dogs, he decided to start feeding commercial dog food. Now, that only came about in Australia in about the 60s. It was a lot earlier in America, but in Australia it was about the 60s. So he then decided to start feeding his dog commercial dog food. And what he found over the next 2 years with his own dogs was they started having problems. Skin irritations, itching, anal gland issues, what else was it? Runny eyes, sore ears, smelly coat, smelly ears, smelly poos even, smelly mouths, everything smelly, dental problems, plus the need for constant worming. Now, he hadn't wormed ever or vaccinated any of his dogs up until then. So you can imagine, after 2 years of being on this commercial diet, he was now seeing the same problems that his clients were getting with their dogs. So he was like, there's got to be some correlation between commercial dog food and all these problems that he was getting. So he changed back to what he was feeding, which was obviously table scraps. Before commercial dog food, it was table scraps and raw, whether it be raw chicken, raw rabbit, roux, but that's what he changed back to, was raw. He also did a little bit more sort of looking into it, and he found that he wanted to add more vegetables, and he added more fruits as well. And what he found once he changed back to the diet that he'd always fed his dogs on was all the itching went away. All the smells that he had, the coats, the ears, the poos, all those horrible smells went away. All the dental problems went away. So was this something that just suddenly happened, or what is it? So what we've got to look at is what he found was that most diseases that he was seeing in his clinic was due to poor nutrition. So poor nutrition in the dogs. So it's quite exciting, isn't it, when you think about it, that just by changing something, we could reduce our vet bills. Yep, just by changing something very small, and that's our dog's diet. So if we look at, commercial dog food, what is it? Well, it's full of carbs. It's full of fillers. It's all processed foods. So when you think of anything that's processed, it loses its nutritional value, if there was any nutrition to start with, but it does lose it. So I would liken it to feeding macas. So if we fed our kids macas twice a day, what do you think their health would be like? Would it benefit them or not? So I really do liken commercial dog food to feeding your dog macas twice a day. And I think, yep, it's certainly something that we need to think about. And I would love your thoughts on the subject, because these are obviously my personal opinions, and also Dr. Ian Billinghurst's opinions, and obviously he's a vet. So I would love your views on the subject, and I would love to hear if you have changed your diet to commercial or away from commercial, and what did you see with your dog? What were the changes? Now, for anyone watching, I would love you to come on to my Facebook group, Everything Dachshunds and Dogs. Go and find it in Facebook, and basically we're just going to talk about dogs' health there. I'm not going to be saying, hey, you must do this. We're just going to have open discussions in that group to talk about why would it be beneficial to change your dog's diet. That's all from me. So I would love you to like this video, share it as well. And I'll also pop the video probably in some groups. But yeah, I want to know your views on the subject. So that's why I changed the way I feed my dogs. Just literally because of Dr Ian Billinghurst and the few words that he wrote, and I thought it was totally really beneficial. And if we look at a couple of dogs that I have had in the past that had issues or illnesses, we had Lucy, who became very sick as a 12-year-old, and because we changed her diet when she got sick, we actually got her to live till 23 as a very healthy girl. And then I had another dog, Fudge, who had, as a rescue, I got him. He had numerous issues. And when I first got him as a 4-month-old, my vet said he probably won't live past 2 or 3 because of all the health issues he had as a puppy. He went to 13. So that's not bad for a 60-kilo dog. So, yep, I just want to get your views on the subject, on the diet of your dog. So, see you for now. Bye.